The ancient world was a realm of titans. Giant mammals, enormous birds, and colossal reptiles roamed the earth. Among these prehistoric giants, one creature stands out. It inspires both awe and a primal shiver of fear. This creature is Titanoboa ceredonensis. It was, quite simply, the largest snake ever known to science. Imagine a serpent so vast it could crush a small car. This was the reality of Titanoboa. It slithered through the hot, humid rainforests of what is now Colombia. This was around 58 to 60 million years ago. This period is known as the Paleocene epoch. It was a time shortly after the dinosaurs vanished. Titanoboa was truly a creature of astounding proportions. Fossil evidence, primarily vertebrae, paints a vivid picture. Scientists estimate it could reach lengths of up to 13 meters, or about 42 feet. Some estimates even suggest it could have been closer to 15 meters, or nearly 50 feet long. Its weight was equally impressive. It likely tipped the scales at over 1,100 kilograms, or around 2,500 pounds. To put this into perspective, it was longer than a modern city bus. It weighed more than a bison. This snake was not just big, it was a true leviathan of the land. Its discovery rewrote our understanding of snake evolution. The world Titanoboa inhabited was very different from today. It was a much warmer planet. The tropical regions where it lived were incredibly hot and steamy. These conditions were perfect for a large, cold-blooded reptile. Such a creature would have needed a warm environment. This was necessary to maintain its massive body temperature and metabolism. Its diet likely consisted of large prey. This could have included giant turtles and primitive crocodiles that shared its swampy habitat. Titanoboa was an apex predator. It was at the top of its food chain. It had few, if any, natural enemies. The discovery of Titanoboa's fossils in the Cerrejón coal mine in Colombia was a landmark event. It opened a window into a lost world. It showed us the sheer scale that life could achieve. But with such discoveries comes an intriguing question. Could something like Titanoboa or a descendant still exist? Could a snake of such immense size remain hidden from science? This question sparks the imagination of many. It leads us to explore the deepest, most remote corners of our planet. The legend of giant snakes is ancient. Perhaps Titanoboa is the ancestor of those legends. The Amazon rainforest is a place of incredible biodiversity. It is the largest tropical rainforest on Earth. It spans across 9 countries in South America. Its sheer size is difficult to comprehend. It covers an area of over 5.5 million square kilometers. That is more than half the size of the United States. Within this vast green expanse, countless species remain undiscovered. Many parts of the Amazon are still unexplored by scientists. Could such an immense and complex ecosystem hide a giant snake? The possibility is certainly tantalizing. The dense undergrowth and murky waters offer perfect concealment. The Amazon River and its tributaries form a massive network. This network creates an ideal habitat for aquatic or semi-aquatic creatures. Titanoboa itself lived in a swampy, riverine environment. The Amazon's floodplains, oxbow lakes, and slow-moving blackwater rivers mirror this ancient habitat. These areas are rich in potential prey. Large fish, caiman, capybaras, and even tapirs could sustain a giant constrictor. The warm, humid climate of the Amazon is also a key factor. It is similar to the conditions that supported Titanoboa millions of years ago. This tropical warmth is essential for large, cold-blooded reptiles. Consider the challenges of exploring the Amazon. The jungle is incredibly dense. Visibility is often limited to a few meters. Many areas are accessible only by river. Even then, travel can be slow and dangerous. Indigenous communities live in remote parts of the forest. They possess vast knowledge of their environment. However, much of this knowledge has not been shared with the outside world. If a giant snake existed, it might be known only to these local people, or it might inhabit areas so remote that even they rarely venture there. The Amazon guards its secrets well. The idea of a surviving Titanoboa in the Amazon is, of course, speculative, but the rainforest has surprised science before. Many species once thought to be extinct have been rediscovered. New species, some quite large, are still being found. The Amazon is a living laboratory of evolution. It is a place where ancient lineages can sometimes persist. While the odds may be long, the sheer scale and mystery of the Amazon keep the possibility alive. It remains one of the last great wildernesses on our planet. It is a place where legends might just have a basis in reality. Across the Atlantic Ocean lies another vast tropical wilderness. This is the Congo Basin in Central Africa. It is the second largest rainforest in the world after the Amazon. The Congo is a place of deep mystery and rich biodiversity. Much like the Amazon, large parts of the Congo remain poorly explored. Its dense jungles, winding rivers and vast swamps could offer refuge. They might provide a hiding place for creatures unknown to science. Among the local legends and anecdotal reports, tales of giant snakes are common. These stories paint a picture of serpents far larger than any officially recognized African species. The Congo River is the second longest river in Africa. It is also the world's deepest recorded river. Its immense volume of water and complex network of tributaries create a vast aquatic ecosystem. This environment could potentially support a very large semi-aquatic predator. The climate in the Congo Basin is consistently warm and humid. This is ideal for large reptiles requiring external heat sources. The region teems with wildlife. This includes a variety of potential prey animals for a giant snake. From large fish to forest antelopes, the food supply could be sufficient. Exploration in the Congo Basin faces significant challenges. Political instability in some areas can make research difficult. The terrain is often treacherous. Dense vegetation and vast swamps limit accessibility. Many local communities live in remote areas. Their knowledge of the local fauna is extensive. However, scientific expeditions may not always reach these areas. They may not always effectively gather this traditional knowledge. Could a creature as large as Titanoboa remain hidden here? It seems unlikely, yet the Congo has a history of revealing zoological surprises. The okapi, for example, was unknown to Western science until the early 20th century. The stories of giant snakes in the Congo often describe creatures of immense length and girth. Some tales speak of snakes capable of capsizing canoes. Others describe serpents that leave huge tracks in the mud. While many of these accounts are likely exaggerations or misidentifications, they persist. They are passed down through generations. Could these be folk memories of real encounters? Or perhaps they refer to exceptionally large individuals of known species like the African rock python. The allure of the Congo lies in its untamed nature. It is a place where the line between myth and reality can sometimes blur. Throughout history and across cultures, tales of giant snakes have slithered. These stories are not confined to one region. They emerge from the deep jungles of the Amazon. They echo through the dense forests of the Congo. They are whispered in the remote villages of Southeast Asia. Indigenous peoples who live closest to these wild places often have rich oral traditions. These traditions frequently feature colossal serpents. These creatures are sometimes depicted as powerful spirits. Other times they are described as real flesh and blood animals of terrifying size. Could these widespread stories hint at something real? In the Amazon, many tribes speak of the Sucuriju gigante or boitata. These names refer to an enormous anaconda-like snake. It is said to be far larger than any known green anaconda. Accounts describe snakes exceeding 20, 30 or even 40 meters in length. Such sizes are, of course, far beyond scientifically verified anacondas. However, the consistency of these reports is intriguing. Explorers and missionaries have also recounted tales told to them by local guides. These tales speak of encounters with truly monstrous serpents. Are these all exaggerations, or could some be based on fleeting glimpses of an unknown giant? Similarly, in the Congo Basin, legends of giant snakes abound. Tribes speak of Mokele Mbembe, a creature sometimes described as a sauropod dinosaur, but other accounts from the region describe immense snake-like creatures. These are said to inhabit the swamps and rivers. Some reports mention snakes so large they can dam rivers, or snakes that leave trails as wide as a small car. These stories often come from reliable local sources. They are people who know their environment intimately. Dismissing all such accounts as mere folklore might be too hasty. The persistence of these tales warrants careful consideration. It is true that human perception can be unreliable. Fear and excitement can easily distort the size of an animal. A large python or anaconda, seen briefly in dense undergrowth, could appear much larger. However, the universality of giant snake myths is compelling. From the rainbow serpent of Aboriginal Australian mythology to the naga of Hindu and Buddhist lore, giant snakes hold a powerful place in human culture. Perhaps these myths are simply symbolic, or perhaps in some remote corners of the world they are fueled by something more tangible. a creature that has managed to elude scientific detection. Section 5. Aquatic realms. Do deep waters hide secrets? If a creature as colossal as Titanoboa or a comparably sized giant snake still exists, where would it live? Hunting on land would be challenging for such a massive animal. It would require immense energy and be easily detectable. However, aquatic or semi-aquatic environments offer a different prospect. Water can support large body masses. It provides excellent camouflage. It also offers a three-dimensional space for movement and hunting. Many of the largest known snakes, like anacondas and some pythons, are strong swimmers. They spend a significant portion of their lives in or near water. Consider the vast river systems of the Amazon and Congo. These rivers are not just surface channels, they are complex ecosystems with deep pools, submerged caves, and extensive floodplains. The Amazon River, in places, can be several miles wide. Its depth can exceed 100 meters in some sections. The Congo River is even deeper, with recorded depths of over 220 meters. These deep, murky waters are largely unexplored. Could a giant snake lurk in these abyssal zones? It could hunt large fish, caiman, or even mammals that come to the water's edge. The darkness and turbidity would provide perfect cover. The prey available in these aquatic environments could sustain a very large predator. Giant river turtles, large catfish, manatees in the Amazon, and various other aquatic or semi-aquatic animals are plentiful. A slow-moving ambush predator could thrive in such conditions. Titanoboa itself is believed to have been a semi-aquatic hunter. It likely preyed on giant turtles and crocodilians in its Paleocene swamp habitat. A modern-day giant snake would likely adopt a similar lifestyle. It would spend most of its time submerged. It would only surface briefly to breathe or to ambush unsuspecting prey. The challenge, of course, is detection. How could such a large animal remain unseen if it primarily inhabits deep river channels or remote, inaccessible swampy areas? Encounters would be rare. Most sightings would be fleeting and difficult to verify. A creature that spends 99% of its time underwater would leave few traces on land. Its breathing would be infrequent. Its movements, though powerful, could be mistaken for currents or submerged logs. The world's great river systems are still full of mysteries. They are dynamic environments where the unexpected can sometimes occur. Section 6. Caves and crevices. Subterranean sanctuaries. Beyond the open waters of rivers and swamps, another potential habitat exists. This is the world of underwater caves and subterranean river systems. Many tropical regions, including parts of the Amazon and areas near the Congo Basin, have limestone geology. This type of rock is prone to forming extensive cave networks. These networks can be filled with water. They can connect to rivers and lakes. Could these dark, hidden realms offer a sanctuary for giant snakes? The idea is speculative, but it presents some intriguing possibilities. Underwater cave systems are among the least explored environments on Earth. They are difficult and dangerous to access. They often require specialized diving equipment and expertise. Many such systems are vast and labyrinthine. They could easily conceal large animals. These caves might offer stable temperatures. They could provide protection from surface disturbances. If a giant snake were adapted to such a life, it might rarely, if ever, need to come to the surface in open areas. It could find fish or crustaceans within the cave system, or it might use submerged entrances to access nearby rivers for hunting. There are accounts from various parts of the world of giant eels or snake-like creatures seen near cave mouths. Some of these are undoubtedly misidentifications or local legends. However, the possibility of cave-dwelling megafauna cannot be entirely dismissed. Caves can be surprisingly rich in life, often with unique species adapted to the darkness. A giant snake living in such an environment would need specific adaptations. It might have reduced eyesight. It might rely more on senses like smell or vibration detection. Its metabolism might be very slow, allowing it to survive on infrequent meals. The main challenge for a large air-breathing reptile in an underwater cave system would be access to air. It would need regular access to air pockets within the caves, or it would need to surface periodically. If the cave systems are extensive and connect to the surface in remote, hidden locations, this might be possible. The idea of a subterranean Titanoboa is perhaps more fanciful, but if we consider undiscovered species of giant snakes, then cave systems add another layer to the mystery. They are hidden worlds beneath our feet. They could potentially harbor secrets we are yet to uncover. Section 7. The climate question. A warm welcome for a cold-blooded titan. The existence of Titanoboa in the Paleocene epoch was closely linked to climate. As a colossal cold-blooded reptile, it needed a very warm environment. This warmth was necessary to maintain its body temperature and support its metabolism. Scientists estimate that the average annual temperature in Titanoboa's habitat was around 30 to 34 degrees Celsius, or 86 to 93 degrees Fahrenheit. This is significantly warmer than most tropical regions today. This raises a crucial question. Could the current global climate, even in the hottest rainforests, support a creature of Titanoboa's immense size? Today, the Amazon and Congo basins are indeed hot and humid. Average annual temperatures in these regions typically range from 25 to 28 degrees Celsius, or 77 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. While this is warm, it is cooler than the conditions Titanoboa experienced. Some scientists argue that this temperature difference is critical. A snake the size of Titanoboa might struggle to maintain a high enough body temperature in today's tropics. This could affect its digestion, activity levels, and overall survival. The metabolic demands of such a giant are enormous. A slightly cooler environment could prove fatal. However, there are counter-arguments. Perhaps Titanoboa or a similar giant snake could adapt. It might have a slower metabolism than its Paleocene ancestor. It might spend more time basking in direct sunlight when available. Or it could inhabit microclimates that are exceptionally warm, such as geothermal areas or very sheltered valleys. Furthermore, the relationship between temperature and maximum snake size is complex. It is not fully understood. While warmth is generally beneficial for large reptiles, other factors also play a role. These factors include prey availability and lack of competition. Another consideration is that Titanoboa might be a placeholder. We are looking for a giant snake, not necessarily the Titanoboa kerajanensis. A different species of giant snake might have evolved. It could be better adapted to slightly cooler, though still tropical conditions. The green anaconda, for example, is a very large snake. It thrives in the modern Amazonian climate. While not as large as Titanoboa, it demonstrates that impressive sizes can be achieved. The climate question is a significant hurdle for the survival of Titanoboa itself. But it might not entirely rule out the existence of other, as yet undiscovered giant serpents. Section 8. Science weighs in. The case against modern Titanoboas. While the idea of a living Titanoboa is captivating, the scientific consensus is strong. Titanoboa kerajanensis is extinct. It vanished from the Earth millions of years ago. There are several compelling reasons for this conclusion. Firstly, the fossil record is quite clear. Titanoboa fossils are found only in Paleocene rock strata, dated to around 58 to 60 million years ago. There is no fossil evidence of this specific species or anything comparable in size in younger geological layers. If such a giant snake persisted, we might expect to find at least some more recent fossil remains. The absence of such fossils is significant. Secondly, the ecological requirements for such a massive predator are immense. A snake weighing over a ton would need a substantial and consistent food supply. It would require very large prey animals. While the Amazon and Congo are rich in wildlife, supporting a population of Titanoboas would place a huge strain on the ecosystem. Furthermore, such a large animal would likely leave noticeable traces. These could include massive shed skins, large fecal deposits, or distinctive tracks in soft mud. Despite numerous expeditions and extensive local knowledge, no verifiable physical evidence of a living Titanoboa has ever been found. The argument from climate, as discussed earlier, also weighs heavily against its survival. Titanoboa thrived in a superheated world. Modern tropical climates, while warm, are generally cooler than the Paleocene hothouse. This temperature difference could be critical for the physiology of such an enormous reptile. The square cube law also presents challenges. As an animal gets larger, its volume and thus mass increases much faster than its surface area. This makes thermoregulation and even movement more difficult for very large land animals. Water helps, but the fundamental physics remain. Finally, if a population of Titanoboas existed, it is highly probable that we would have concrete evidence by now. With modern technology, satellite imagery, camera traps, and increased scientific exploration, a creature of that size is unlikely to remain completely hidden. Anecdotal reports and indigenous stories are fascinating. They add to the mystery, but they do not constitute scientific proof. Misidentification of known large snakes like anacondas or pythons is a more probable explanation for many giant snake sightings. Science demands testable evidence, and for Titanoboa, that evidence points to extinction. Section 9. Conclusion: a lingering enigma in the green depths. The story of Titanoboa is a remarkable chapter in Earth's history. It reminds us of the incredible forms life can take. The thought that such a colossal serpent once existed is truly mind-boggling. The question of its potential survival today ignites the imagination. It taps into our fascination with the unknown and the undiscovered. We have explored the dense jungles of the Amazon and Congo. We have considered the whispers of indigenous lore. We have delved into the possibility of aquatic and subterranean refuges. The allure of a hidden giant is powerful. Science, however, presents a strong case for Titanoboa's extinction. The lack of fossil evidence beyond the Paleocene is a major point. The climatic differences between then and now are also significant. The ecological challenges of supporting such a massive predator in today's world are considerable. Without concrete verifiable proof, a body, a clear photograph or DNA evidence, the existence of a living Titanoboa remains firmly in the realm of cryptozoology. It is a captivating legend, but one not supported by current scientific understanding. Yet the world is full of surprises. However, this does not mean that all mysteries of giant snakes are solved. While Titanoboa itself is almost certainly gone, the vast, unexplored regions of our planet may still hold secrets. Could there be other exceptionally large snake species yet to be discovered by science? Perhaps not on the scale of Titanoboa, but still formidable in size. Reports of giant anacondas in the Amazon, exceeding known lengths, continue to surface. Tales from the Congo speak of serpents that defy easy explanation. These remote wildernesses are so vast and so difficult to penetrate. Ultimately, the quest for Titanoboa, or creatures like it, is a quest for wonder. It encourages us to look deeper into the natural world. It reminds us that there is still much to learn. While the scientific verdict on Titanoboa seems clear, the door remains slightly ajar for the possibility of other undiscovered giants. The jungles and rivers continue to guard their secrets, and as long as there are unexplored corners of the earth, the tantalizing possibility of encountering something truly extraordinary will persist. The legend of the giant snake in one form or another is likely to endure.